Hello, Chi Chi fam. It's been a while.
Let's wait for a few people to get in and then we can start today's live stream.
All right. How are
How's your
you
week so
doing?
far? Me? I'm good.
Week so far so good. Closer to the holidays, it always gets really, really super crazy.
Yeah, have you finished all your Christmas shopping yet?
No, this year, C's created some really, really bomb crispy chili, which I sent 2 jars over to you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys will like it. But we've been giving it to family, and they have been really loving it. So
Oh,
we're
it's
actually
coming in the mail?
no, I sent it to Nali yesterday.
Did you? Okay, I need to
I
go check
did.
because I didn't
Yes.
even. What's up,
Yeah.
Randy? How's it going, Randy?
Randy. I remember Randy.
Yeah. Chai's on deactivated soon. Man, you're really gonna deactivate your Facebook, Chai? I don't think you should, man. It's because he reached his limit on friends, and so he needs to start a business account in Facebook so that way he could increase the friends. That's how Facebook is. So he said that he might as well just deactivate his public Facebook page. I think that's what he said, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
What's
Well,
going
there's
on,
only
Ralph? What is going on, Ralph? Long time. Hey, Lisa, I heard San Jose closet costs 1,500.
what do you mean closet? Really?
I don't know what he means by that, but maybe an actual closet because it's the Bay Area.
Or is the house so tiny it's like a closet? That's plausible too.
Oh
That's
man,
possible.
yeah, maybe it's a shed. It's like a closet sized shed for sale
Yeah.
on an empty lot.
And if it's $1,500, that's a steal. Go get it. Go buy it.
For Bay Area, that's a steal for sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, we got a few more people in. All right, well, let's get started with today's live, huh? Just so that way we don't waste anybody's time on a Thursday night, since everybody's time is so precious. Hopefully, you guys are hearing us okay. If the audio is not good or so, comment down below so that way we know, so we could correct it. Just want to make sure we start the stream good with no bad
Somebody is
audio.
renting a closet and has a queen bed in there for $1,500. If a queen bed can fit in there, Randy, that's a steal in the Bay Area.
Damn, 1,500 a month for a closet size. So it's just a room. It's not a house. It's just rooms for rent.
Yeah. So there's a lot of co-op in San Jose. It has been a trend just because for people who just graduated from college or just starting their career or anything like that, it's harder for them to buy a house. So they do rent out rooms. Some of these investors are converting into master suites with all of the bedrooms, taking out a living room to be able to do that, things like that, so that they can rent per room. So it's kind of like you're living in a dorm.
Man, he says couches rent is $800.
That's a steal, Randy. Take it.
God, that's ridiculous to say it's a steal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is the economy today, but we're gonna go over that rental market shortly. But let me do some market update for you guys, okay? You guys always love the numbers. Okay. You guys know this chart. Let's look from last couple weeks, the changes, okay? You see that, Lisa? You see how the
Yeah,
inventory is slightly going down
it is.
over the past couple weeks? It's because it's holidays. Everybody's not putting the home on the market. That's why this blue line right here is also going down. It's pretty steady for the past couple months, but
Yeah.
it's slightly going down because it's the holidays and it's getting cold. And sellers
Yeah.
know that it's the worst time to put the home on the market, but they put it on the market because they still have to sell it to either upgrade, downgrade, or relocate. So
Right.
there you go.
This is
Pending,
actually normal.
yeah, it is normal. It is normal because it's gonna pick right back up. Because if you guys look, it's still pretty steady. Like even pending homes, this red line, it's pretty stable. If you guys look at that, because look, just from last week or so. Change 6% drop inventory. New listings 27%. Sold went down 14%. Pending homes actually went up 14%. So of course, the moment a home goes pending, it is no longer for sale. So that's why this drops. Okay, that's part of the inventory. And average price per square foot, pretty stable, as you guys can see. It's like still in the 320K range. So just from last week, it went up almost 3%. But of course, the week before that, it went down, because 311 right here. So it's pretty stable. Just remember that. Days on the market went up. It's slightly going up. It's saying 48 days here, but remember what I said a couple weeks ago without when Lisa wasn't here. Um, I've seen as much as 90 to 120 days on some homes, okay?
Yeah.
So just FYI, if you're a seller, you need to price your home correctly and be accommodating, like I mentioned in that last live stream, to get your home sold in this market, okay? But as you can see, inventory increased from last week 14%. Sellers that are getting what they're asking for, 93% are getting what they're asking for from this week compared to last. Still, 90% of sellers, if they're putting the home on the market correctly, they're getting the price that they are asking for. Okay, so that's what this means right here. Average price for sale and sold. Okay, so active price slightly up 0.3%. It's pretty stable. Man, look right here. No, September, October, everybody was putting their home super high and it went right back down. But I don't really look at active. I care more about the sold because that's how much your home will be worth. Because that's how much. That's what appraisers look at. They don't look at active. They look more at sold. Okay, so that's this red line. It's pretty steady as well, but of course it did go down from last week about 5%. Okay, but just know if you look at it long term wise, it's pretty steady. It still hasn't gotten that price drop that every buyer, every investor is asking for, to where it's like 50,000 drop, 100K drop, like in 07, 08. That's not happening. That's not what we're seeing. Okay. Let me just go over to the monthly inventory so that we can see. Still about 2.25 worth of inventory. Not a lot. Again, it is slightly coming from a super demanding seller's market to a more stable, but this isn't even full stable market yet. Full stable market is like 3 to 4 months. When it's 5 to 6 months worth of inventory, that's when buyers are really gonna be the one that's in control of everything. Okay, and we haven't really seen that yet. So 2.25 worth of inventory right now. And that's the market update, y'all. That is a market update. Any
Okay.
questions regarding this, Lisa?
No, I mean everybody's a little bit every time there's a slight shift that happens, everybody kind of feels like the shift is a little bit harder than it usually
Mm-hmm.
is. And sellers, yeah, you're not going to get the price that it was 6 months ago, but that's
Right,
okay. I mean, if you're looking at the bell curve and everything, we're in a tier two. Um,
right.
it's not 2008. I don't feel like it's ever going to go to that amount just because the lending guidelines are so much more strict these days.
Mm-hmm.
But anything could happen, guys, right? So instead of waiting for tier three or tier four and finally like, oh my gosh, I really don't want it to go anymore, there's still a great opportunity to sell if you want to upgrade your home, if you need to relocate. This is a great time still to reconsider.
Yes, because remember, rates right now is normal rates. We've just been conditioned and spoiled with 3% and high twos in the past year or so. So remember that, okay? Every seasoned homeowner that I've spoken to, they say the same thing. They're like, okay, rates are back to normal. All right, cool. You know, so that's why when it was 2%, 3%, everybody was jumping on the refis. because they've never seen it that low before. So that's why. Okay.
And it's
As we,
funny, the word normal, guys, is so subjective, right? If we keep getting these rates now for a while, that's going to be our new norm.
yep,
The COVID norm is over. All right.
yep, for sure. Let's read some comments. Ralph says, "Why rent a couch for 800? Just move to Sac."
Well, tell everybody.
Yeah, don't rent a couch in Bay Area when Sac is only like 2 hours away, and for 800 or maybe a couple $100 more, you probably have an actual house.
Well, more and more
Maybe,
people are coming from the Bay Area. I mean,
yeah.
it has been that way for the last decade, but definitely so much more so during the pandemic and after the pandemic, just because there's so many people that the companies, especially tech companies, that didn't allow for work from home now actually do. And most of them stayed that way because the companies realized that they don't need to be paying a brick and mortar and rent for this huge commercial property when their people are working fine from home. And
Hmm.
if you're going to work from home and if you're making $127,000 in the Bay Area, guys, that's actually uh, low. So
Yeah,
it's low only because the cost of living is so high, and your tax bracket is different when you're at a different tier in
it's
income.
low or it's actually average there.
It's low.
What's average there then? Because you're from the Bay.
It's about 150 right now.
Okay, so not that far off from being average.
That's
I
not
know
that
I
far
know
off.
that sounds horrible to say, but it's the Bay.
It's the Bay, and a lot of times, if they're in commission jobs, bonus and commissions gets taxed a heck of a lot higher than regular salary. So people are trying to have a living there, and it's not easy, even with $200,000. It's not easy.
Randy says, I've completed my 2 year income on Uber. 100K earnings. I'll be ready to talk to a loan officer soon. What's my estimated max jumbo loan you think I'll get?
Randy, I'll be more than happy to price that out for you just to give you an estimate and everything. But there's so much variables with that, and I'd love to have that discussion with you later on, and then that way you can have a better feel and you can ask all the questions that are personal to you.
Yeah, just shoot her a text. Her number is below the description box, below this video. So just shoot her a text, Randy, and she'll get back to you after this live stream. All right.
Yeah,
Everybody's situation is different. Okay. So, again, there's
yeah.
a lot of variables. But let me go on to today's topic, rent. Share my screen again. All right. Look at that. Okay. I like using Rent-A-Meter because it's not, of course, it's never going to be 100% accurate because subdivisions, area, everything is a factor. And depending on the condition of the home is also a factor. So it's all about market value, right? It's about finding a willing renter that's willing to rent your home or etc. Rent a investor's home that's on the market. So I'm just gonna kind of give you guys like a breakdown, guideline of how much rent's gonna be in certain areas so that way we could determine whether or not people should still keep renting or they should probably try saving up for paying their own mortgage instead of an investor. Okay, so let's just go to South Sac. Okay, South Sac right now is what 95822. That average home right now that's renting families are looking for 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. So let's look at that. Okay, just to see how much. It's saying it's about $2,000 average, median 2,100. Okay, that's South Sac. That's like 95822. You know what? Let's switch this to let's go to
Okay.
let's go to 95823. How about that?
Hold that just for a second, okay? Yeah, just for kicks, because Randy mentioned that renting a couch is $800. So if it's a 3 bedroom and you divide that by three, it's $2,100. That's $700. So you're absolutely right, Randy. Rather get a whole room instead of a couch.
Hey, you could put your couch in your room.
Right. Right.
That's too funny. But okay, so this is South Sac, between South Sac and Elk Grove ish. So you can see the average rent and median rent went up just slightly. It's about 2,200 or so for a 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. Okay, now this is South Sacramento. this isn't even the most desirable area yet. Because if you go into like the most desirable area, like Elk Grove, let's look at that. Okay, for the same 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, rent right now is about 2,500. Okay, so that's for a rental. And of course, if the bedrooms go up in size, everything becomes a factor. See how it just went up $400 more. So this, if you haven't heard of a rental meter, you guys should definitely log in and use it. If you want, they do want you to pay for it, but to get it free for 7 days, just utilize a new email every time it expires. Hint, hint. Okay. But yeah, it's a pretty good site to tell you the average rents around the area of whatever you're looking for. And it's not just to Sacramento. You can go anywhere. Okay, I'm just giving you guys an idea of Sacramento, El Go, because that's where I'm at. You good with that, Lisa? You good with those
Yeah,
numbers?
absolutely. Absolutely. So, can you bring up the average in Sacramento again for 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom? Just Sacramento in
Yes.
general.
Let me go to 3 bedrooms. Okay, it's about 2,400. Oh,
Okay,
never
so it's
mind,
about
never mind,
20.
never mind, never mind. It did not adjust. 21,
Okay.
2,200. Yep.
So based on that, guys, okay, I'm going to share you my Chia, do you want me to get into strategies of buying?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Would you like me to go ahead and present the buy
Ye-
down?
yeah. Let's go on to the next topic.
Yeah, because a lot of times, guys, in I wouldn't even say it's an adverse market, but anytime when you feel that adversity, there's always an opportunity. So we in the lending side, we have different types of loans and different types of ways that we can cater to that adversity and give people more opportunity. And one of those is a buy down strategy. So I'm going to go ahead and share if that's okay, Chia.
Yeah, go for it. Just share your screen and I'll
Awesome.
log your screen in. Randy says, I'm the Uber driver. I hear these prices. I don't pay those. My friend said he's paying 2,600 for rent in San Jose. Crazy, I think, apartment.
Honestly, Randy, I know it sounds like a joke, but that's actually pretty good pricing for San Jose.
Depending on
Just
how
because
big
of,
the apartment is. Unless it's
yeah,
just a room. Unless it's just a room for 2,600, then
I
oh
would not be surprised if it's only a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's normal.
gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Okay, awesome. Is it big enough, guys?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to talk about this strategy. It's called a 3-2-1 buy down. How this helps you and how this helps the seller as well, because it's not really everybody's going to call it a seller's market or a buyer's market. To me, I call this everybody is a win-win market. And the reason why is because sellers, you can still sell your house for a pretty good price. It may not be tier number one, but tier number
Right.
two is not a bad option too. So I'm going to talk about the first column. Say for instance, the purchase price, the home price is 550, down payment is 5%. Interest rate today is actually 5.875, guys. A month ago it
Wow, it
was
went
7.
down.
I know. It's lower than 6% right now. So it's a good thing. A month ago it was 7.5, you guys. Okay. So
I don't want to go off of a tangent, but because we're talking about
mhm,
rates, do you, Feds just met a couple days ago.
yes.
So, do you think this is going to be the trend? Is it going to keep going down more?
You know, every single time they say yes or no, up or down, I swear they just come back and they say something else. So I don't even want to say that because it's so volatile. It's a little less volatile in the last few, you know, last 2 weeks. But before that, again, it's been fluctuating like crazy, up and down, one whole percentage rate, all sorts of stuff. This is in uncharted territory for us as lenders as we're trying to look at the trend, and the scale is going up and down, up again. It's like Wolf on Wall Street kind of stuff. And we're just
Yeah,
like looking at it constantly. We're getting notifications and everything. Hey, prices are worsened right now. And it's only a 10-minute difference, you know?
yeah,
So it's really hard to say right now. If it's like this, I say take advantage of it or prepare yourself so that when it is more favorable for you, you can just press the button and ready to go instead of scrambling to get all of your ducks in a row, get
yeah.
your pre-qualification. And even if you are pre-qualified, guys, It doesn't mean you have to buy. It just means you're
Right.
super prepared when opportunity comes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and veer back to this and why this is important. Okay, guys. So if the purchase price is 550, interest rate is 5.875, your monthly payment and interest is a little over $3,000. Okay. What the 321 buy down means is that the seller can contribute to you, the buyer, to buy. Why would the seller want to do that? I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay. But
I
for
talked about
you,
it a little bit a couple of weeks ago, so they kind of have
yeah.
an idea, but you can
Okay.
refresh.
Okay, awesome. So in the first year, it's a 3-year buy down, which means on the first year of the buy down, the interest rate is 3 whole percentages lower than the initial amount. So if the initial amount is 5.875, that first year you're getting at about 2.875. I
Hey,
don't know
we're
about
back
you.
to 1 year ago again, guys.
So you kind of get a backtrack COVID year,
Gosh.
okay? A backtrack, all right? So you get that for that first year. The second year, it's 2 percentages lower, which makes it 3.875. The third year is 4.875, and every year after that is the initial rate. How does this help you? All right. So on a monthly basis, on that first year, you're saving $922. If the seller must reduce their price, it's going to hurt their pocketbook. It's going to hurt their bottom line. And they're thinking, well, if I'm not able to sell it for this price, how am I going to have enough down payment for the next house? So either way, right, this is a market where you may have to lower your price anyway. But if you lower your price by $50,000, buyers, you're saving only $281 a month. It's still a saving, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But if the seller keeps the price and buys you that interest rate, buys you this
Mm.
option, it only costs them less than $23,000. So
Oh,
you
instead
see,
of the
if you can choose,
$50,000.
correct, correct. So it saves them, saves the buyer, and really for first-time buyers, most first-time buyers, kind of like usually sell it within 3 to 5 years anyway. So you may not
Mm.
have to hit year number 4.
What happens? What happens if they want to keep the rates low when the third year is about to expire? Is there any way
You
to do
can
that?
refinance it. Yeah, you can refinance at any time. If for some reason those COVID years come back and you say, hey, I want to lock it in for much longer than that first year, absolutely.
You
You
don't
can
have to
do
wait
it.
till the 3 year expires. You can do it right
No,
away.
correct. You can do it anytime. You
Oh
can
my
do it anytime.
gosh.
Yeah, yeah. So I
See,
looked at that strategy.
sorry to butt in.
Yeah.
This is what we were missing 2 weeks ago, right? Don't y'all miss Lisa? Like I was mentioning the buy down rate a little bit, but I couldn't go into details because I'm not a lender. I'm not a loan officer. Lisa is, so she can
Sorry,
talk
I
about
missed
it.
you guys. Sorry, I super missed you guys. Just keep in mind, if the payment and interest, guys, on that first year is 2167, this is the property tax for a purchase price of 550. Okay. So earlier when Gia was talking about the rents, and I asked him to purposely do this, even though your mortgage is higher by $1,000, it's yours, you guys. You get a rate of return on that. You get to recuperate some of that cost because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're paying a 5%, 10%, 15% interest rate. You're kind of paying it, for yourself, not to yourself, like a retirement one. You'll recoup that in equity later on. You're in a payment plan that works for you. So you're not having to sell when you don't need to, right? When the market goes down or anything like that, your payments are comfortable enough. And there's certain areas in Sacramento and San Jose, the rent is astronomical. This is pretty much less than what the rent is in the Bay Area, in most Bay Area places. So why not be able to get into there? And a lot of times, even during every single market, everybody always asks that $1 million question. Is it still a good time to buy? The question
Always.
is only for you. That's something that you have to answer is like, hey, if you're living with your parents and you're paying rent free and you get to save that money so that you can eventually buy your house, great, then stay there. But if they're driving you nuts, it is a really, really great option to get there out there on your own. It's still a good time to do it if the numbers work for you. Okay, guys. So I hope that that helps you guys today, and I hope that that gives you that excitement to know that hey, you can absolutely do this. I'm more than happy to crunch out personal numbers for you. I just prefer to keep your information personal to you, and then that way you can feel more comfortable asking as many questions regarding your situation.
Thank you for that, Lisa. It's kind of like what I mentioned a couple weeks ago, guys. Real estate, when you're buying real estate, it's kind of like you don't wait to buy. You're gonna hear this saying a lot. You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy and then you wait. Yeah, the rate is not 3% no more. It's not 2% no more, like what we saw this past year and a half. But maybe while you're buying in, owning the property, in another decade or so, it might get back down there again, and then you just refinance it, And so that's what you need to consider doing because rent's still high. Okay,
Yes.
rent is still gonna be high. So like this is this is average rent right now.
Just for kicks, Chia, can you see what it is in San Jose?
Of course, let me go look. Give me like 3,500.
37.
37, yep, median.
I always go to the median just because
Uh,
it's to
but
me
but
it's
look
more.
like, but look though, like 40. There's even homes up towards 4,100 a month. This is
Yeah,
bananas.
yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, almost try to pay something that's yours. Cause if you're a single individual, I always like to say, take advantage of your status. You may say, right? Maybe rent the
Yeah.
other rooms out.
Absolutely.
You know,
And maybe
because
give them a discount on that couch.
that's gonna be the inside joke for today's live
Yeah.
stream. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions for me and Lisa while you guys still have her here, ask away in the live chat, okay? And don't while you guys are down there, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends and family if you haven't done so already. But we wanted to also because we just got done talking about first time home buyers, right? About the buy
Yeah.
down rate. If you're still in the market and you want to utilize the program that's out there for you right now, and maybe take advantage of the situation right now for the market and have a potential seller pay for your closing costs, maybe you might want to talk to your loan officer and utilize a buy down and see how much that's going to look like for your scenario. Okay, so that's for first time home buyers and sellers. Now, investors, because I know that a lot of you guys are watching are also investors. Lisa just mentioned to me that some of the investor loan programs right now are actually um pretty worthwhile looking into. Can you share more about it?
So one of the most popular and the easiest ones that we've been doing is called a debt service coverage ratio, short for DSCR. Okay. And what that is if you're a business owner or you're Uber and your tax returns and everything like that, because you write off everything, is not going to show that you're going to be able to have that type of income that traditionally a bank would require, it's okay. If you're putting at least 20 to 25% down, depending on your credit score, depending on what your situation is, as long as, okay, as long as your payment, interest, taxes, and insurance combined is less than or equal to the going rent rate, that's all that's needed. You don't even have to have all the other paperwork. The only thing that's needed is your bank statements to show that you have the assets in there, and you do have to show some reserves. Again, those reserves are depending on what type of credit score that you have. That's really nothing else that's actually needed. So it's a really, really great program. There's a lot of out of the box type of programs right now, and I've been doing actually a lot more of those than any other ones, just because when the market is something like this and it goes towards a more of a buyer's market, investors are jumping in. You're gonna see rent rising, guys, because investors pay a higher interest rate. Investors know that it doesn't matter what it is, as long as the house pays for itself, or as long as I'm getting some income making out of it. And the only way that they're going to be able to make income, guys, is to increase the rent. That's
Yep.
just the way that it is, right? So as they're increasing that rent for you guys who aren't homeowners yet, then beat them to the punch. Be homeowners yourself.
These um these programs, guys, are for investors because you can't live in them. You have to rent
Correct.
them out. Okay.
Correct.
You
Correct.
cannot, yeah, you can't live in them. Um is there any stipulations on these programs, Lisa, to where, let's say, maybe in a year or two, like things change, or is it like that for the life of the loan?
It's not like that for the life of the loan. If your first initial intention is to rent it out, okay, I would say there's actually no cap, okay, but I would say a good rule of thumb is at least a year.
And what about the payments? Is it interest only payment? Because I know that sometimes whenever it's an investor special, it's interest only payments, or are these both P and I?
It is there's it's all across the board. There can be an interest only option. There is a 30-year option. There are ARM options too. What an ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage, which means you can lock in that rate for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and it fluctuates on each one. So far, I'm actually seeing the 30-year fix to be very, very comparable to the adjustable rate mortgages. And I've done quite a few in the past months for 7-year fixes. And usually, investors, same thing, okay? For the first 7 years, if your cash flow is tight, you might want to have the lower interest rate so you continue to cash flow and then refinance later on, or use that equity that's built in that property, utilize it, sell that one, get a couple other properties with it.
Got it. What did you mean by it's comparable? Like adjustable rate right now is comparable to like the traditional.
So the interest rate for a 30-year fix is 6.5%. The interest rate for adjustable rate mortgage is 6.25. So it's only a quarter off, you guys. Okay.
Dude, wait. It's an investor loan. It's like the
That
same rate as a home
yes,
buyer.
yes. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these creative loans out there right now, they're not um, they're not with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They're actual investors out there. Investors who are saying, "Hey, I don't really want to do crypto right now. It's too volatile. I don't want to do other stocks right now. It's too volatile. Even tech stocks. I have stocks in tech companies too that are falling like, nothing. So they have this, they still want to invest in something, and they're investing in mortgages, but without all of the strict guidelines that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac put on. Take advantage of
Interesting.
that.
If you're an investor, okay, I know
Yeah,
that not majority of you guys watching these videos are investors, but some of you guys are, and we do still want to cater to you guys as well. Okay. And oh, Chang's on. Hey, you guys,
okay.
haven't tuned in for a while. I know it's been a minute, Chang.
I
Let's
know.
not remind ourselves of that. Then it's the holidays. But let's kind of go back to first
Yeah.
time homebuyers. Are there still down payment assistance or zero down payment assistance programs
So you
going
guys,
on right now? Do you still recommend those? Like, how do they look right now? Because there's still people asking me.
there is down payment assistance program, but the equity builder grant is gone, guys. Okay. It's been overused and everything like that. So there's no more funds for it right now. But there are down payment assistance programs. There's actually still a few. Okay. The interest rate is higher. It's at 7.5%. There's another one that we have that's completely forgivable, but it's at 7.5%. So if you are
Are
in a
these area
situation where
specific?
no, they're actually not. They're nationwide. It's nationwide. But because the rate is higher, plus the closing costs are much higher, the closing cost is 2% higher than normal. So if you need to put 3% down and the closing cost is 2% higher, if the seller is not willing to help you with that closing cost, it might not be the best strategy. Okay, just simply because it's only 1% difference. And I always like to prepare you as like, hey, if you work on saving X, Y, and Z, and from the other shows, I do build a savings plan for you. So if you're not there yet and you see an opportunity that you just want to jump on and you haven't saved that 3%, great. Let's go ahead and use the down payment assistance program. But if you haven't seen a house that you like and you're only 1% away of a difference, why not utilize that and get the 5.875% instead? Okay. So it's not a one size fit all type of situation. When you come in and you have more questions on your own specific criteria, I cater it exactly to what your needs and what's most financially beneficial to you.
Or utilize the buy down programs and have the seller pay for that instead of your down payment assistance.
So here's the thing. Yes, exactly. Because down payment assistance did not allow for that the buy
Buy
down
down.
because yeah, it's the closing cost is already so high.
Just talk to a lender, y'all, so that way you guys can find out the details of what
Yes,
your situation looked like, and then you can pick and choose which one you want to use for your purchase. That's
right.
catered to you, not to me or to Lisa. It's catered to
Yeah.
you.
I
That's
mean, I
my
have
best.
some of you from out of states and everything like that. Thank you so very much for tuning in. You've actually asked me, I was like, hey, if I'm licensed in your state, right now I'm only licensed in California, Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. But I'd love to just give you a second opinion so that you know how to get the loan officer that's going to work for you. Okay.
Randy says my friend is getting laid off tomorrow. I'm expecting a crash soon. There's a lot
Well,
of
there was,
people. There's a lot of
yeah.
people in the tech company right now that's getting laid off. I was just sharing that with Lisa, saying I met this
Mhm.
dude in the Bay Area a couple of days ago, and he's downsizing, selling everything in his house to downsize because he got laid off from a tech company that he's been
Yeah.
at for almost 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's happening, guys. It's happening. The great thing about being able to work from home is wonderful. But when you're working from home, that means they can hire anybody from any state, any country. So that's taking some jobs. A lot of the tech companies, seeing the overhead is so high in California, they're moving their headquarters to other states. That's why I license myself in other states that are a little bit more friendly with taxes and things like that, just to help my buyer or my people who are selling their homes here and moving over to other states.
Chang says, "Do you guys see rates coming down?"
Let me check my crystal ball. um, I hope so, but I don't. I think it's going to stabilize for a little bit now, so that people, aren't going to be in fear factor like they were a few or a month ago, actually. Okay, and it hopes to bring in more buyers. There's still not a whole lot of inventory, you guys. So it's really a supply and demand thing. If we go back into the fact that people are buying more, then there's just going to be less for all the people that want, right? And so interest rate may actually go back up just to try to calm that down again.
I said the same thing 2 weeks ago. I was like, because there's a lot of like
Yeah,
mortgage experts out there predicting that rates are going to go down again. And
yeah.
I was like, I can't see that happening because inventory is barely at 2 months. If rates
So
go down, every buyer that's on the bench right now is going to come back into the game, and all that inventory is going to go back to below a month again. And guess what's going to happen with price? It's going to shoot right back up, and we're going to have an affordability issue all over again. People are never going to get the price that they want. So I don't see
yeah,
that happening just because of that. But who
that's
knows?
yeah. I mean, that's a great insight, Chia. The other thing is too, if people can't find jobs here, all the techie people, they may be moving to more cost-effective states. That is also the reason why Bay Area is moving to Sacramento. It's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, it's a lot less expensive than the Bay Area, and we don't have to move out of state.
Yeah, I that's how I feel about the rates.
Right?
Do you guys talk about office building sales? Laugh out loud. I see millionaires talking about it. Well, I'm not a millionaire, so I'm not gonna talk about that, Randy, because it seems like you're just talking about millionaires. I'm just playing. But office building sales, you mean leasing spaces or like actually buying commercial buildings?
Um, I don't know if which one you're pertaining to, Randy, but I'm gonna speak on both of them. Okay. I do see that happening. I'm actually looking for that as well, just simply because yes, there's gonna be a lot of businesses that may go out of business. A lot of smaller shops, a lot of warehouses, inventory places and things like that that may actually come up because there's not enough staff You guys are going into restaurants. You guys are going to services. You're seeing less and less employees in there, and it's a very very difficult thing because especially in the Bay Area where you have these businesses and the business owners are fine until they're not. And what I mean by that is they're fine, their overhead, their pay is good, but their employees cannot afford to live in that city anymore. So they have to flee out. And now there's a labor shortage everywhere. You guys have already seen that. The prices of everywhere you go in restaurants have gone a lot up. The price of what your groceries are, everything's gone up to compensate for the fact that they have to pay their employees more to keep them. Okay.
Yep, everything's going up. Everything is going up. But yeah, rephrase your question, Randy. Okay. Shane says, "Do you think a 2-1 buy down is a gamble, or what is the benefits you tell your clients?" We just spoke about this. Shane, where was you like 30 minutes ago? I'm just playing,
Okay.
but we'll go over it again. I'll let Lisa answer this.
So it depends on what you feel it is a gamble. It's truly a benefit, right? At the end of the day, the rate stays the same. On the fourth year, we actually have a 3-2-1 buy down. Not every lender has a buy down
Yeah,
option, but we have a 3-2-1 buy down where it's 3 years. And the rate that you're going to lock it in is what it's going to be for 30 years anyway. You're just getting a discount on the
in the
first
in the
year,
initial,
the
yeah.
second year, and the third year. Okay. And it the benefit is the highest on the first year, then the second, and then the third. So I'm not understanding how that would be a gamble for you unless, you know,
It's
um,
not. I think you're getting it mixed up with a arm. A arm would change. That'll be a gamble for sure, unless you refi out. But if you're utilizing like a 2-1 buy down, like what Lisa was saying, what a lot of buyers going in thinking about this program, they're really thinking about, okay, before it goes back to the normal rate today, at the end of my 3 years, I'm gonna refinance to
right,
hopefully the lower rate at that time. But worst case, I'm still buying it at today's rate
correct.
versus if I was buying it 3 years from now and rates is 10%.
Right. So you're talking about a adjustable rate mortgage too, Chang. It really depends because most people, okay, first time buyers sell their home within the first 3 to 5 years anyway. But if you want to protect yourself and say, hey, well, what if I don't want to, or what if the market is not in it for me to sell? That's true. It is a calculated risk rather than a gamble. A gamble is like you're coming in, know nothing about the market, just roll the dice, right? But if you do your research, take a look at your finances, give yourself a little bit cushion. Don't go way high or close to your debt to income ratio. Give yourself a little bit of a cushion, and you can always make that payment if you look at those numbers correctly.
And another thing too is what I'm telling my clients about the buy down is right now sellers are offering incentives, meaning they're paying
Mm-hmm.
for your closing costs. Why not have them pay for the buy down?
Chia, how hard was it last year to get a seller to agree to
Oh
credits?
my goodness. It is
Yes,
it's difficult because sellers
yes.
were naming their price on everything because it's a crazy sellers
Mm-hmm.
market. Right now things are changing. Sellers are starting to
Mm-hmm.
realize I gotta be more accommodating now because
Mm-hmm.
it's not a crazy sellers market like we saw freaking 6 months ago. Barely just 6 months ago. It's changed so much.
Right.
So yeah, that's another pro right there is having the sellers pay for it if you're a buyer. Randy says, I heard a one bed, one bath in Sunnyvale is 4,800. San Jose is cheap sometimes. Sunnyvale, I want to see. Let's look. Since we got this up, you say it's for a one bedroom. Let's go.
Keep in mind, guys, every single area has its niche neighborhoods where it's like, oh my gosh, it's so different from everybody else. It has the bouge neighborhood and it has the hood neighborhood.
True. Sunnyvale is saying it could go as high as 3,500, but median's about $3,000 right now for a one bedroom, one bath. maybe it's a specific zip code. Because if you break down and you go to like a specific zip code to where it gets smaller in the area radius, then the rents do change drastically. This is the overall Sunnyvale. So keep that in mind, okay? But I just figured I'd look it up real quick for you, Randy.
And the other part of it too, Bay Area, because it's techie, okay, um, there are niche apartment complexes that are like fully decked out. Okay. So they got a gym, they got all the other amenities and everything like that. And that could absolutely be it. Santana Row, which is the place to be. And in San Jose, it's like a 6,000 for a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Mm-hmm. All right. Here's one thing I wanted to show you guys, okay? A lot of you guys are still asking me how much home prices are going down, how long homes are actually on the market. So this is just from 7 days ago, okay, from a week ago. Let's look at these. There's been about 1,000 home reductions, 1,500 new listings, back on the market 378, price increases 93. I got something to say about these price increases, okay? Sometimes sellers do that as a tactic to make it look like it's a new home on the market only, not
Mm,
necessarily because the home is worth that much more, but in some small instance, price increases due to the fact that maybe they underpriced it when they put it on the market, and the amount of offers that came in was so much higher that they increased the price to make it reflect the market value because they probably weren't sure what the home was going to be priced at. So that might be why too. But most of the time, it's just for strategy tactics to let buyers know, hey, it's a new home. Because when you change the price, you change everything on the listing, and it looks new. But if you have an agent look at it, they can kind of tell you, oh, it's been on the market for a long time actually. So just FYI, okay? Chang says, how much of a discount are you guys getting out there on homes? It depends. I've seen homes that drop $50,000, $100,000, depending on how long it's been on the market. And on average, I say it's about $50,000, 50 to 75,000. Okay, and credit on top. I noticed that the ones that are less in price reduction end up giving more in credit, and vice
yeah.
versa. Less credit, higher purchase price, less price
Right.
reduction. So it all varies on the home and the condition and what your agent negotiates for you, really.
Well, not
So
only that, yeah, because a lot of times sellers, again, some people are still stuck in the fact that they still want to
their
sell it for
condition,
a
yep.
month ago. Okay. So if they're in there, it's not technically a discount. It's more of like, okay, now you come into the reality of what the market is now, what the market's going to bear, what buyers are actually going to buy it for. So they're going to correct that price accordingly.
Yeah, so the sellers that I'm meeting today, that's exactly what I'm telling them, Lisa. I'm telling them the
Yeah.
same thing. They have a price in mind because they were conditioned to 3 months ago, just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And when I'm showing them the data today, it's like a huge change. It's like 50 to $30,000 change. Sometimes even 100,000. And like when I show them the comps about today, most of the time their jaws drop, and it's like, what, really? And really, that's
Really,
what's
really.
yeah, that's what's going on right now. So you gotta price your home correctly, because one thing I like to say to all my clients is, when I put your home on the market, I'm not trying to sell the price to the buyer. I'm trying to sell the price to the appraiser. Because most of the time, the buyers utilizing a mortgage, they're gonna get an appraisal. And if the appraiser is looking at the comps and your home is way off, they're not gonna comp it for you. So it doesn't matter how much you want to list your home if it's not gonna get past the appraiser's eye. Because
Right.
buyers today, they're way more savvier than they were a couple months ago or even a year ago. So like if the home price doesn't get negotiated to the appraisal, they're backing out. They
Right.
remember they have all the contingencies now. It's not
Right.
like a year ago to where they're going in with no contingencies. It's not even like that. All three contingencies are in place now. So appraisal doesn't meet, you don't want to lower it. Deuce, I'll go down to your neighbor that's willing to do a price reduction. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's how it is. I'll make sure to throw a lot of low ball offers. I'm on the market to buy a new primary. This is why I love this talk. You're in Fresno too, by the way. That market over there is uh I could already imagine how that market's like right now. But okay, let me go back to what I was trying to show you guys. Okay, so let's go look at some price reductions so that way I could react. Give my 2 cents on why some of these homes are like this. Okay, so let's just click the first one. Oh, it's a halfplex.
Ooh, those are rare.
Halfplexes, yeah, it's not bad. It's a okay home. You know, I say it's better than a condo. It's better than an apartment. You know, it's not bad. 2 bedroom, two
Better than
bath, 2 bedroom, 2 bath for 294. Okay, let's look at the property history. It came on the market 77 days ago at 325. Here, let's do this. Let's look at the comps. Okay. So that way we can see. Oh, there's not that much data. Okay, let's look. Let's look. Maybe go a mile out. Sometimes I like to do comps based off of a regular home too, just because there might not be a lot of data around a halfplex. So you just basically look for uh something that might be similar in square footage. Okay, because appraisers are going to price it uh, sometime based off of price per square foot. So as long as the square footage of the single family home is similar to the halfplex, sometime that might be enough data for a appraiser to appraise your property too. So remember that, okay? So the halfplex is about almost 1,000 square foot, not there, but this 2 bedroom, 2 bath home is 1,000 square foot. Okay, so for 405. But when did it sell? See, so it sold in August, okay, and it actually went over. Look, they got like 30,000 over asking. Okay, so it's not bad. This is a different market, okay? 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, it's a different market. So this one, good job for them. 2 bedroom, 2 bath. Let's go on to the next. This is an 11. It's a little bit bigger. So this one was just sold, like a couple days ago. And it dropped about 15,000 in price. And they did not give any credits. But what I have found out is sometimes the agent that's filling out this information doesn't input all the information that's accurate. So
Mm,
even though there was concessions given, sometimes they don't put that in there. So just FYI, you always gotta take it with a grain of salt. But hey, this is an investor purchase. They bought all cash. Or maybe a rich family that cashed out on a Bay Area home and came in and bought cash. Yeah, they bought cash. Okay, not bad.
well, Chia, we have some cash lending programs too. That could be it too.
That's true. So let's look how it was on the market for 150 days, and the initial price was holy moly 505. Yikes! Never mind. It wasn't a $15,000 price reduction. It was actually about 100K. Man, over 100K price reduction right here. Oh, it's open door. No wonder. You guys already know how me and Lisa feel about open door. Okay. Yeah, that's a huge discount. They lost hella money on this one.
Mm-hmm.
My God, they probably bought it for like 500K. Watch, they probably bought it for like 500K.
I don't know. I'm still thinking it's a tax write-off strategy of some sort because they lost so much.
Yeah, for reals. Oh, it doesn't show. Oh, never mind. Yep, they bought for 462,000. And then they put it on the market for 505 and they ended up selling for 375. Woo! They lost
Well, that's
money.
crazy though. Even if you sold it for 505, that
Yeah, after fees, you're still not even break even.
I know.
I don't know how they are doing that.
They must have thought that one, either they were intending to sell it for way more than that, but somebody who's crunching the numbers for them didn't analyze it accurately. Or
That person no
two,
longer
I'm
working
telling
there
you,
then.
there might be something in the back door that you and I are not familiar with. I'm like,
Yeah,
the more they lost, the more that they're gaining over tax strategies. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to us, but there's got to be a reason into that madness.
my God, this is so crazy. Shane says, I'll make sure to throw a lot of low balls. Oh, we already read this. Let's go on to the next house. Man, I love critiquing these listings.
Oh, that one's cute. I like the white picket fence.
Yeah, this one's nice. So it was only on the market for 9 days. Okay. And again, different time. Okay, this is before August. During that time, homes are still going quick. Okay, because it hasn't been like how it is now. Okay, so this home actually went over by 5,000. Um, see, at least this agent had the guts to say call listing agent to find out about the concessions. You see, because a lot of times what they do is appraisers will call and say, "Hey, um, Mister So and So, you just sold this home at X, Y, and Z. Did you give any credits?" And then that's when they reveal the information. But because uh, agents like me like to kind of go on live and talk about things like this, then they kind of blurt it out. So yeah, sometimes they give out concessions, but they don't make it public for us to share. Okay. This one, 91 days. It's still on the market. Okay, it hasn't sold yet. It came on the market for 35 days ago for 475. So they did a price reduction of 25,000. It's still on the market. So when did they do it? Okay, not too long ago. Okay, 91 days, 450. How much is this home worth? Is my question. How much is this home worth? Okay, it's about there. There's some homes that sell for 500, but of course, it was like during August and before that. Oh, it's a lot bigger too. 1600 square foot. Yeah. A good rule of thumb, you're trying to comp your house, don't go more than 300 square foot of your subject property, plus or minus. And then yeah. And the year matters a lot too. And of course the remodels and all that. But okay. Um It seems like it's still a little overpriced, don't you? What do you think, Lisa? It's 1,100 square foot, 450, 1,400 square foot sold last month for 445.
Well, I mean, it's subjective, right, Tia? If somebody's willing to pay for it, then is it really overpriced? And if they crunch their numbers correctly, and they crunch their numbers correctly, and if it's affordable for them, and if they're still paying better than they are at rent, then no, then they can play the market and just let it ride until it is financially beneficial to them to sell later on.
Possibly. See, this
Hmm.
one sold for in 7 days because they priced it correctly. They put it on the market for only 410 and they got multiple offers and they went to 445.
Yeah.
And look, they got 5 offers. In this market. It was only on the market for 7 days last month. That's why I always preach about pricing your home correctly the first time it comes on the market because if you're not pricing correctly, you're gonna do more harm than good to your listing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm-mm. See, so going back to the list, yeah, I think this one is still because it's the same condition. Look, it's the same condition as the other one that sold, and see, it's at 450. Everybody that saw this home went and bought this home
Well,
because
that
this
makes
came right because
yeah.
this home was 410 and it's basically the same square footage, actually a little bit bigger, same condition, same area, but it's $40,000 cheaper. So
I like
it and
that arch. That's charming.
huh?
I like that arch. That's charming.
What art?
The picture that you had earlier. Sorry, I squirreled.
Which one? There's a picture. I
That
don't see
one.
no picture.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. You like this one?
Yeah,
The
I
art.
do.
Oh, the
Yeah.
art. I'm not really a art fan, but yeah, arches. Yeah. So
I love houses that have its own character. That's not so like similar to everything else. But this
see,
one, it's its own cookie cutter. But we're so used to the way that houses are built now. So I was like, oh, that's kind of
it's a
neat.
little bit outside the norm, right? So it piques your
Yeah,
interest.
yeah,
I get it. I get it. But yeah, see this guy. He priced it correctly. Got multiple offers. Sold within seven
yeah,
days. This home again, he might have to lower a little bit more just to reflect the condition because 90 days on the market, 450 still. Yeah. Oh man, it's already an hour. Oh, you know what? Let's look at this last comment from Chang. If a house has been on the market longer than 30 days, would you throw a lowball offer? Or how would you structure it to get the offer accepted? Dude, any right now, whether it's over 30 days or not, because you Chain, you're looking at buying a home as an investor. You're not really looking at it as buying it as a homeowner is going to be in it for like retirement, right? So you're looking at it differently. You're not really emotionally attached to the house because you want to make sure that the numbers make sense for you. So you are already preconditioned going in to any home. So for you, doesn't matter if it's 30 days or 0 days on the market, it's gonna be in your best interest to submit a low ball offer no matter what, because you're looking at it from an investor standpoint. So for a homeowner, it's a little bit different because they're they don't need to make that extra side hustle money, from renting it out, flipping it. They just want a home that they could come to after they're 95. Their kids have a nice area, the neighborhood, school. See, they think about all that. All investors think about is how much cash flow is it. That's it.
yeah.
There's no, that's the only thing investors think, So it's a different mindset. So of course for you, low ball all day, right? It's for your best interest. Again, it's your best interest because you're looking at it as an investor. The best interest of a homeowner might be a little bit different. As long as
Yeah.
it's affordable and they love the area, they're just going to get the home. That makes sense for them.
Right.
So to structure a deal for your mindset, you know, of course, you can't be greedy, right? You can't be too greedy because if a seller senses that you're too greedy of a buyer and you're not leaving any meat on the table for the seller to net on the equity, then of course they're not going to entertain your offer. So then in that point, you just got to find out what the seller really, really want to net and then submit a win-win offer.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's really important for you to have somebody, an agent, to advocate for you and really, really know that market, to really know what that sweet spot lowball offer is. Because if you lowball too low, even as an investor, okay, if you lowball too low, you're missing out so many opportunities that can make you back tenfold of what you walked out on putting a lowball offer that's way too low.
Yeah, because timing is everything, right? Because we don't know what the Feds are going to do with
Mhm.
the rates, like what we were talking about earlier. If rates don't come down and they end up going back up or going higher than right now, you just shot yourself an opportunity of a lower payment by buying at that time's market price, and then now rates went up a point. So was it worth it going down 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 in price, but rates went up 1 point? So I mean, numbers, guys. I think investors just look at that, right? But of course, nobody has a crystal ball to time everything. So that's the denominator right there. That makes it a challenge for investors right now. But investors are still buying, and for you, if you're buying it as an investment, I'd say live in it for a while, and then after that, where rates went down and then you refi and it's your payments are dropped, and then you could probably rent it out after a year or so.
Hmm.
Go from there. Shane's like, damn, you right. Thanks for calling me out. All right, you guys. Well, that is it for today. We went a little bit over, having too much fun with y'all, but uh thanks for tuning in and being engaging. We have fun when we come on, so it was good. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Um that's it. Lisa, good? Anything that I missed?
No, not for today. I miss you guys. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see you guys a little bit more. Hopefully, your holiday seasons is doing really really well, everyone. And yeah, we wish you guys the best.
All right. You guys have a good night. See you guys next time. Peace.